Excel comes with a whole bushel of tools and options to make your life easier, and seems to be dedicated to eliminating redundant effort as much as possible. If you have to do something once, Excel doesn't want you to have to repeat all the steps again somewhere else. In this lesson, we're going to spend some time with these tools and see if we can't make working in Excel that much more enjoyable. Two of the things we do most often in Excel are move and copy data. Excel gives us a couple of ways of doing both of these things. We're going to take a look first at how to do this with the mouse. Before we get down to the demonstration, though, we need to make sure that Excel on your computer is set up to do all the things I'm about to demonstrate. Go to the File tab, click Options, click the Advanced category, and make sure there's a check mark in the box next to Enable Fill Handle and Cell Drag and Drop. This setting is turned on by default, and once you've made sure it really is turned on and there's a check in the box, you'll probably never have to think about it again. Go ahead and click OK to close out of the dialog box. Now our objective here is to move cell B4 to a new location. To do that, we're going to hold our mouse button down on the outside border of the cell. Notice as you put your mouse around the outside border that the mouse pointer turns into a 4-barbed cross. That 4-barbed cross indicates that dragging with it will move the contents of that cell. Let's see if that's true. I'll just hold the button down and drag to the right 2 cells. Notice that there's a little outline or ghost cell appears before I release the mouse button. This indicates where Move Me is going to go. I'll release the mouse button, and sure enough, that's where it goes. So you can use this little 4-barbed mouse pointer from any place along the outside edge of the cell except on the fill handle. You'll get something else if you choose that. So when you're moving, stay off the fill handle and just go by the outside edge. Bottom, top, left, right, it doesn't matter. We'll just drag that right back into position. If you want to copy something, that is, make a clone of it, you can do a very similar operation. Let's go down to the Copy Me cell. Again, we'll point at the outside border of the cell, get the 4-barbed cross, and drag to the right. Now before I release the mouse button, I'm going to hold down the Control key on the keyboard. When I do this, notice a little plus sign appears next to the arrow inside the ghost cell. When I get it into position, I'll release the mouse first, and then release the Control key. If you don't do it in that order, Excel simply moves the cell instead of copying it. Now that's one way to move and copy data. Another would be to use the clipboard. The clipboard's been around a long time in Windows, and we're just going to do a quick demonstration of how it works, and then compare that to how it works in Microsoft Office with the Office Clipboard. First off, just simple cut, copy, and paste. If I want to copy the word first and paste it into these 2 cells right here, I'll click on the cell, go to the Copy button in the Clipboard group of the Home tab, and just click to copy. Excel places a dotted box or a marquee around the word first, indicating that this has now gone into the clipboard. And then I'll select the cell where I want it to paste and hit the Paste button. And I can do this as many times as I like. Hit Escape on the keyboard to turn off the marching ants. For second, I'll use the keyboard shortcut to do the same thing. Control-C to copy, and then click in this cell and Control-V to paste. Hit Escape to turn off the marching ants. When you perform the copy operation, Excel allows you to paste the item as many times as you like. Now we'll take a look at the cut operation, which, oddly enough, is only going to allow us to paste 1 time. We'll click on Third, and then go to the Cut button in the clipboard. Just like working with copy, Excel places the marching ants around the item and then waits for us to paste it. We'll go into this cell here in C4 and paste. 3 things are going to happen when we perform the paste. Watch. 1. Third disappears from its original location and lands in cell C4. 2. The marching ants disappear. And 3. The Paste button becomes unavailable. We can't paste that item a second time. The Windows clipboard has always been limited in the fact that it only allows you to store 1 item at a time. If you cut or copy an item, it stays in the clipboard until you cut or copy a second item. Then the first item gets booted out. A few minutes ago, I mentioned that Microsoft Office has extended the functionality of the Windows clipboard. Now we'll take a look at what I meant by that. First, we'll put things back the way they were here. I'll move third back into position by drag and drop, select these cells and hit delete. In the clipboard group of the Home tab, the dialog box launcher here launches a task pane called the clipboard. This is the Office Clipboard. One of the big differences between this clipboard and the Windows clipboard is you can store up to 24 items here. Let's take a look at how that would work. We'll click on first, and I'll use the keyboard shortcut Control-C to copy, and watch it immediately goes into the clipboard. We'll go to second and copy again, Control-C, and I'll just use the keyboard shortcut the whole way down the list here. Hit Escape to turn off the marquee. Excel places the copied items in the clipboard with the first one at the bottom and the last one I did on the top. Now what's great about this is I can paste these into the document anywhere I like and in any order. Let's say I wanted to put this order back in backwards. So I'll just come right next door here and I'll start at the top of the list and click fifth, and I'll use the down arrow and then go to fourth, down arrow, and so forth. Of course, I could have placed these in any order that I like. If I decide that I want to delete an item from the clipboard, I can hover over the item that I want to delete and click the little down arrow that appears and choose Delete. If I want to clear the entire clipboard, I'll just choose Clear All. The clipboard is really good for storing text and pictures and charts and all kinds of stuff. But one little warning here, it's really terrible when it comes to formulas. Because if you copy a formula and place it into the clipboard, it loses all its formula properties. In fact, what Excel will do is place the value that the formula returns rather than the formula itself. Let's take a look at this. I'll just type in a simple formula here, equals 2 plus 2, and then Control-Enter to complete my edit in the cell without moving down. Now I'm going to copy that. I'll just right-click on it and choose Copy. It goes into the clipboard as a 4 instead of the formula 2 plus 2. So when it comes to formulas, the clipboard is absolutely worthless in Excel. Now, worthlessness aside, there is a little workaround for this. Here's something you might try. If you absolutely must copy a formula and want to put it in the clipboard, do this. I'll hit Escape to turn off the marching ants, go to the formula bar, and actually select the entire formula from there. Then you can use the keyboard shortcut Control-C to copy. Here you can see it places the formula in the clipboard. Anytime you do any kind of an operation in the formula bar, as we've just done, never just click out of the formula bar and into the worksheet. That'll change your formula. Instead, either hit Escape or Enter to get out of the formula bar. I'll just hit Escape here at this time. Now let's see what happens when I paste this formula in. I'll come over here and then just click on the formula, and sure enough, that worked pretty well. Okay, so maybe the clipboard isn't absolutely worthless, but unless you know this little workaround, you'll never get the results you want by copying cells that contain formulas. Now there are a couple other quirks with the clipboard that are worth pointing out. Let me clear the clipboard. I'm going to get rid of this stuff here. We're just cleaning things up here a little bit, and we'll go back to our original list. Remember earlier, we were able to copy these, Control-C, 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 and so forth. And the clipboard collects these. Now let me clear the clipboard again. I'm going to close the clipboard. Now watch the difference here. I'm going to do the same copy, Control-C, Control-C, the whole way down the list. Now the clipboard, we would think, should be collecting these items, but in fact it's only collecting the last item that we selected. If we turn the clipboard on, you'll see the only thing in there is fifth. This is because by default, unless the clipboard is visible, it doesn't collect stuff. Now you can change that setting if you want to. If you go down to the Options button here, you can tell it collect without showing the Office Clipboard. Let's see how that works. I'll clear all, turn off the clipboard, and we'll go through this again. Control-C, the whole way down. Now when I display the clipboard, all those items are in there. Who knew? You see, if you don't know that, you'll be scratching your head wondering why your stuff isn't going into the clipboard.